for the week. Let's read it together. Together, please. Knowing who you are is the prerequisite for living a purpose-driven life. Realizing that you are a spiritual being with the ability to go anywhere, become whatever you think you can, allows you the freedom to explore the realm of infinite possibility without compromise. Just go for it. Don't read, Evan. I want to make it personal. So we'll read, knowing who I am. And then when you reach Evan, you call your name. How about that? Want to do that again? Let's start. Knowing who I am is a privilege of living a purpose-driven life. Realizing that I am a spiritual being with the ability to go anywhere and become whatever I think I can allows me the freedom to fully explore somewhere about 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, maybe a writer, maybe a school of thought, maybe several writers, introduced us to an analogy called the creative story. They took us through a series of processes that resulted in the birth of humankind. In the first chapter of Genesis, it says, "And God said, let us make humankind, and let us give humankind dominion, power to be, power to do." In our way of thinking, this is a very important statement. Let us make humankind. Let us make humankind both male and female. Meaning that each one of us are godlike in the sense that we are both male and female. There's a male side to us we call the intellect, the thinking part, the conscious part of our being, awareness, judgment, analyzing is done in that part of mind. And there's another part of mind called the female. This is the feeling nature within us that is meant for us to appreciate what we have produced in the intellectual part of our being. It is not man and woman. It is two sides to our spiritual nature. That each one of us has the ability to be godlike. But somewhere along the line, other folk like us have created philosophy, poetry, thoughts that came from their minds and have commanded us to follow them. And by following them, we have lost in the main, our purpose for living. And because of that, we suffer immensely by becoming dependent on. Each one of us is a gift of life, just like every other gift of life. We came with independence. When we sell our independence, we are hustled by others to perform according to their understanding. When God, in the second chapter, created man again, he said to man, go forth. Man meaning humankind. Go forth and multiply. That's the first commandment in the Bible. Go forth and multiply. He never said to wait for John or Mary or Harry or Tom, Janet or Jean. He said, go forth and multiply. The purpose spiritually of every human being is to go forth and independently multiply. Not to make babies on the outside, but to multiply your ability to use ideas as you grow, as you become more than you came here as, that you go past your beginning and begin to live. Each one of us has a purpose in life. As Jesus told his disciples, be ye perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. In other words, to maximize your creativity as God created in the beginning, we need to create and maximize that ability to add and multiply and increase. We are not here to blame others for our perceived lack and limitation. We are here to use every given moment to find ways to go past from where we are, to go to a place that we will never see, to go beyond the scope of our imagination. For all spirit is potentiality and infinite possibility. That each one of us is a possibility. The only thing keeps us from expanding, one, the lack of knowledge of who and what we are. When we discover that as a spiritual being, that means all of spirit, all the energy, all the intelligence of the universe is friendly to me. And I could go wherever I choose to go as I allow my mind to remain open and receptive and become even further open and receptive in every conscious moment of my life. That I am not subject to who my father was or the school that I went to. My role is to go past my teachers, go past my parents, They were vehicles that brought me to this place. But if I stay in this place, I will surely die. We are meant to be progressive, not to become static, but to keep moving, to live as spiritual nomads, never allowing our emotions to hold us bound in one place. We must live with the purpose of living. There are too many people who have life but do not live. They died when they were 5 and they're walking dead. You don't need to be like that. The voice that you should be listening to is a voice inside of you that is constantly trying to break through and wake you up from the sleep that you might have been. For it did say, after God had created humankind, God took the male, the intellect, put it to sleep, and then pulled a rib from it and created the feeling nature. Some of us are like waxed objects that are still asleep. There's a rope that is held by somebody else. And like a puppet, we follow. It's called the Pied Piper syndrome. Because we like to blame other people, we follow other people. If it goes wrong, we have somebody to blame: God, the devil, and my neighbor, or my mother, or my father. When you take responsibility for life and have a purpose for living, you get up every morning in spite of the weather, in spite of the seeming trouble, and you get up with an excitement to live. The moment you discover that you are not subject to other people's thoughts and feelings, that you came alone, you didn't come here by a bus. That bus that you came on, if you did come on a bus, did not have a driver or a conductor. You're on your own. And the more you realize that you are on your own, is the more you can decide how you want to live, why you want to live, where you want to live, when you want to live. You can do that for yourself. You're free. When you know that you are free to be, you don't hold anybody ransom. And you will never be held ransom. Isn't that wonderful? Jesus said in John 6:38, "For I have come down from heaven." Heaven is the realm of spirit or energy. I came from spirit. Hello now. Not to do my will, but to do the will of spirit. And the will of spirit is to live abundantly. I came to live abundantly. Hence he said in John 10:10, he says, "I am come that they may have life and have it more abundantly." Our role in life is to live life at the end of the heights that we can see. Always seeing higher heights, never looking down, never getting scared to live, but always by having hope, see more. Because if you can't see it, you can't do it. If you don't see it, you can't have it. Because you already have all that you can see. But you should never be satisfied. Because your purpose is eternal. Stop asking yourself, have I arrived? No. The end of one moment is the beginning of the next. The end of one assignment is the beginning of another assignment. And we should be living to fulfill as many assignments as our mind can compose. Isn't that wonderful? You're not just here to breathe in and breathe out. To eat, appropriate, and pass out. You are here to live means to move, to be actively engaged in life. Not just for the money. Sometimes the money is the prisoner that keeps us from being creative. How much is it? How much would I make? No. Give to life freely, and life will give to you freely. The more you have is the more you can have. The less you have is the less that you will have. And even that which you have, you would lose. When you stop being creative, you lose your ability to create, and you end up worse than you were. Every moment in life is a creative moment. Stop looking at the downside and see the possibility for the upside. So you lost your job. Thank God. For it opens me up now to create a new place with new people, with new possibilities. Don't go down and moan and groan. Get up. In your mind first. Start to think. What did I want to be as a little child at 10? I wanted to be, wow, well, I haven't achieved that. Let me set out. There's a wonderful book that I was given to read, and I read it this week. It is called The Color of Water. It's the story of a young Jewish girl and her sibling, not her siblings, and also her children. She had 12 children. She lived under some horrific conditions, but each one of each child is a professional. Doctors, educators, social workers, and teachers. It doesn't matter how poor you are. It doesn't matter which side of the track you were born. It doesn't matter how they beat you and they did all kind of stuff to you. It brings out the best of you. Gold is not gold until it is fired up, beaten, all the impurities go, and then you become 22%. You need things to happen in your life to force you to wake up from the sleep of laziness that grips us. It's called inertia. Things don't move unless something comes to move them. This morning is your moving time. Get up. Stop waiting for Jesus to come again. He ain't coming. Came 2,000 years ago, and the same message we are giving you today, he gave. And they didn't listen to him. And the world went into chaos, into the dark ages. Now come out a light, and it has gone back into the dark ages. Each one of us is responsible for shedding light in our own path. We are the light of the world. We can't wait on some other light to come. There's a wonderful song. that begins. You are the sunshine of my life. Don't sing it. If you remember that song. Nobody is the sunshine of my life. I am the sun. I give light to me and wherever I am. Some people wait for the right person to come in and stimulate me. I have all this talent, but if the right person comes, I'll get going on it. You're going to die with it. You're going to die with it because by not using it, you are dead. The first death is mental death. When there is no more hope that you can build a life for yourself, that is true death. When the body dies, that's what? The body just gets fed up supporting a no life. Get up. You must have a purpose. And a purpose is a little thing that gives you hope. Tomorrow when I wake up. That's a purpose. At work today, I am doing what I am doing because. That's a purpose. The because, the answer, or the word that follows the because is a purpose. Don't just live because you have life. Don't wait for somebody to die to get all the money. Go forth and do what? Multiply. Whatever that looks like to you, you go do it. Keep your brain active, keep your mind active, keep your mind growing, and you will go to a new country every day. See, we in Abraham's time, they couldn't jet away. When they wanted to go, they got up on 2 feet and walked. Hello now. We want the right kind of car to take me to the right kind of airport to go to the right country so I could relax. If you can't relax wherever you are, you're dead. A holiday is a time when you do what? Become still and do something differently that brings you a little bit of relaxation and joy. You can do that in your bed. Well, I don't have enough money. I want to go to Hawaii, but I don't have enough money. Create Hawaii right here. Get some hula hoop and... The first principle we teach. You want to see that again? Eh? I can't do it. It was a switch that I pressed. Can't do that. Sometimes we need to get serious with ourselves. We are not here to beg, but to claim. All that God has, all that the universe has, is mine. I got to walk forward every moment and claim the moment and claim whatever I have need of in the moment, not waiting or begging. Ain't going to God and beg. I did that with my father and I never got what I wanted. But my universal Father says, all that I have is thine. You don't have to beg. You don't have to wait. Pretty please, Daddy. You don't have to get God in a good mood. You remember your parents? They had to be in a good mood. Well, I tricked them so often that they went into bad moods. Because as a little child, you learn to be creative. And sometimes you learn to lie, which is creativity in the wrong way. I hope you stopped by now, Evan. But you understand what I am saying. It's that when you have a purpose, it doesn't matter how long it takes. And it doesn't matter who is in your life to enjoy it. Once you are happy in it, live it and be it. Because it's not about anybody else. Don't wait for somebody to come and say thank you. You don't want to be recognized. Your recognition comes from when you know that you have done the best that you can do. You put your hands behind your back and nobody could see and you shake them. Good, Evan. I love it. Good, good. Isn't this great, Evan? You don't need it from anybody else. Satisfaction is inward bound. It is not outside. A lot of us like external gratification. Satisfaction dwells within the heart. And you know when you could say to yourself, well done, my good and faithful servant. Enjoy a moment of peace, because you know that peace is not sustained into eternity. Peace is a quest that you must seek in every moment of your life, because today's peace is not tomorrow's peace. That's why the metaphor when the children of Israel were given the manna, this manna is for today, it's not for tomorrow. Don't hoard it. You can't hoard peace. Enjoy this moment. In this moment, be joyful and be grateful. Say thank you. But no, this is not the end. This is only the beginning of a journey that would lead me to more and more and more and more. Because once you get on this roller and you are climbing, it could only be better and better. That's why it's called heaven, man. A state of mind in which you could sit down for one moment and have some milk and honey. Honey. One moment of milk and honey. Because the bees have to go and gather more pollen and come and make more honey. So that little bit of honey that you get is a foretaste of the more honey to come. But you have to be doing what? Living in your mind and creating more honey. The honey isn't coming because you're waiting for more honey. If you wait for more honey, the bees are not coming back. What you need to do is to become creative and let your mental bees do the work. To be or not to be, that's the question. Just be. Chili be. Just be. This is what we need. You don't need to defend yourself to anybody. When asked the question, why? You just say, because I chose to. End of story. Well, why did you choose to? Because I chose to. How come you? Because I chose to. You don't have to report your life to anybody but to yourself. If you're not feeling right inside, nobody needs to know that. You don't have to go telling people your business. And you know when we have to tell a business what we do, we need days of practicing to put on the wrong face. All that waste of energy for nothing. Why not be excited about the opportunities that are constantly being given to us for us to change our way of thinking? You realize that every incident that happens in your life is a wake-up call for more or to change? Do you realize as soon as you become consciously aware that there's something that is happening that is bothering you, it's a wake-up call for you to get up and to create? Hello now. The lepers outside of the gates of Jerusalem couldn't go in because they were lepers. And they asked themselves, why stay we here and die? Let us get up, move and go. And in the night they went over to the camp of the Assyrians, and they thought they heard hoofs, and they all fled, and all the meat and food they wanted they got. You see, it is in action that you get. Hello now. When you have a purpose and you act on it, you get what you think you have need of to make you happy. Nobody can make you happy. I tried it for 77 years I've been on the planet Earth. I told somebody that on the train coming back, and he looked at me and says, "You look like 57. I said, "But I feel like 98. Because this body has no recall on it. And when it starts to get older, you start to feel some little things in your body that some people call pain. I call it excited, that my body is getting excited because of the new opportunity to live that is opening up for me. And I find that if I stay in bed, these semen pains get larger, so I get up and I get active. And I say, I want to live. You know, I find when I drink more water now, it's better. I don't get clogged up. And I eat a lot of salads and stuff, olive oil and rice oil, avocado oil. Hello. And I eat foods that I research. Now, because I got a little wiser. You see, when you get older, you're supposed to get wiser. You're not supposed to do the things that you used to do. That should be your purpose. To move from where you were. And get up in the morning. If nobody's around to go with you, you go on your own. Go on your own. Go driving in the country. Don't come back. You have nobody to report to. It's you alone on the planet Earth. This is your life. This is not our life. This is my life. It's nice to do things together. But the objective is for you to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life. And the only one who will know when you are living that life is you. Don't live for anyone else or because of anybody else. Do things for yourself. Don't be spiteful because they tell you to go right, you're going to go left. Go according to right judgment. Do things by right judgment. You have wisdom now. Do things because you realize when you did that in the past, you end up suffering, and you don't want to suffer anymore. Do the right thing. Go for it. God bless.
I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. Sing it now. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. I got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I have the love of my Christ today. Goodbye, doubt. I stay no longer with you. Goodbye, fear. I stay no longer with you. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. Your turn. Goodbye, time. Oh yeah. I stay no longer with you. Goodbye, fear. I stay no longer with you. name so sweet. Lord, your name so sweet. Say, I will never feel defeated. Lord, your name so sweet. I will never feel defeated. Lord, your name. I've got my